Coming up on Seminole Sports Magazine, one game changed the life of senior pitcher Scott Seitz. We'll profile the leader of the Mustache Mafia. Then we'll go behind the scenes at Pro Day as FSU's elite athletes are put to the test in front of NFL scouts. And rain or shine, the game must go on. We'll take a special look at the indoor tennis facility. These stories and more on Seminole Sports Magazine, presented by AT&T. Hello everyone, I'm Rob Wilson. Our first story takes a look at one of the leaders of the Florida State baseball team. Senior Scott Seitz has made a name for himself during his time at FSU with outstanding pitching performances and eye-catching facial hair. Here's Heather Biltock with the story.
Standing on the mound in 2009, during the final game of his high school career, Fletcher Senator Scott Seitz thought his destiny was decided.
And here is the 2-2, and guess what? Another K. That's 6 already for Scott Seitz.
For the past 12 years, Seitz practiced his fastball, his slider, his curve. Until that moment in time, the best his skills had garnered was an offer from a small community college in his hometown. But that night, that final game, everything changed.
Yeah, they were the only college that offered me, and they were giving me a full ride. And then my last game against Mandarin, we were playing against them, I think, in the district tournament, and Coach Shoup was there, and he saw me pitch, and yeah, that's how I ended up at Florida State, just off that one game.
Swing and a miss, and that is back-to-back strikeouts now for Seitz.
It was kind of like, is this even serious? Like, I know the coaches at FCCJ weren't too happy with me whenever I told them I was going to Florida State, but I felt like it was just something I couldn't turn down.
The transition from Jacksonville to Mike Martin's field at Florida State presented more challenges than expected.
The only thing was the financing of it, like how are we going to pay for everything? Baseball-wise, it was completely different. High school teams are nothing compared to college teams. In college, you know, anybody in the lineup can hit a home run off you at any time, so you really got to make your pitches.
With financial struggle and the need to be pitch perfect, Seitz came to Florida State in 2009 a rookie, but is leaving a legacy.
Here's a strike on the inside corner, and he is retired. Through 2, Seitz has faced the minimum.
With him being a senior, what he does, he provides a lot of leadership for the young pitchers. Somebody that's been there and done that, somebody that knows how to prepare for a game, prepare for a season, his work ethic, his determination, but also his free spirit. And we want our guys to enjoy their time here in the clubhouse, off the field, on the field. It's a band of brothers, and he kind of exemplifies that and what we want a Florida State pitcher to be. What you learn to really enjoy and like about him is his personality. He's very outgoing. He's a great teammate, but when it's his day to pitch, he's all business, and he's a competitor and a bulldog on the mound.
It isn't just his bulldog work ethic that has brought attention to the mound when Seitz is pitching. His mustache has been the center of attention since the 2012 College World Series. With his junior teammate and fellow pitcher Gage Smith by his side, this duo Mustache Mafia has made an impact on the fans and media.
Everybody on the team likes it, fans like it, you know, just getting recognized.
Nobody has a mustache, so it's just something different. Well, I mean, people have mustaches, but not like these.
This facial hair mob isn't a long-lasting tradition. It's more of a newfound fad, consisting of only 2 members, Scott Seitz and Gage Smith. This Mustache Mafia is a duo founded just 1 year ago when the 2 pitchers found a common and eye-catching bond.
Did I do it?
I don't remember, honestly.
I think it was just something, you know, the double M kind of thing sounded good.
I know what he's thinking, but.
Well, I was the originator.
There it is.
Yeah, so.
But I'm the leader.
We're gonna have to go with me.
Eyes are drawn to the field every time the Mustache Mafia claims the mound. But whose mustache attracts the most attention? Smith felt that the title belonged to his fellow mobster.
I mean, obviously after that game he threw at UCLA, he was gonna get all the attention. Walking around campus with something like this, yeah, you know, people stare. I'll give it to Scott. He's probably got the most attention as far as mustache.
During the 2012 College World Series game, Seitz' performance against UCLA caught the attention of the media, pitching almost 7 innings, facing 27 batters, only allowing 1 walk and 1 run. But what sparked the motivation for this duo to grow out their facial hair?
Shaving's really annoying. My old roommate, Robert Benincasa, told me that I wouldn't. He said I wasn't man enough to grow a mustache for Cinco de Mayo. So I had to prove him wrong, and I had it ever since.
Had probably the worst outing of my life at Boston College last year. And Scott had just started growing out his mustache, and I figured I had to change something up, so started growing it. And I think I went like 15 or 16 scoreless innings, so figured it had to be the mustache.
Superstition and bribery motivate the mustaches, but these men have discovered it isn't all fun and games when it comes to maintenance.
It's actually a lot harder than it looks. I mean, to make it look good, to make it pop, you gotta shave every day, which is annoying. And then I'm trying to do this flip thing. I haven't really figured out how to do that yet. But
The problem I have is when I wake up in the morning, when it gets really long, it'll just kind of be everywhere. So I gotta brush it down, you know, make sure it's looking good before I go outside.
Start lower and work up to it as the season wears on. Swing and a miss, and a good start here for Seitz.
Seitz is nearing the end of his time here at Florida State, leaving a spot open in the Mustache Mafia.
I don't know what I'm gonna do. There's been some people that want in on the Mafia. I don't know if they can grow a mustache like his, though. They probably can't. So it's gonna be a long process to see if it's even gonna last till next year, but we'll see.
Even though Seitz and Smith aren't ready to find a new member to fill Seitz's position, they are taking applications. I'm Heather Biltock for Seminole Sports Magazine.
When we come back, we'll go behind the scenes at FSU Pro Day as the Seminoles put on a show for the NFL scouts. Also, Scott Kotick goes one-on-one with one of our Pro Day athletes, fullback Lonnie Pryor. You're watching Seminole Sports Magazine presented by AT&T. Florida State finished last season with an Orange Bowl victory, but the graduating Seminoles didn't stop their training there. Instead, they set their sights on a bigger pond, the pros. After a solid garnet and gold showing at the Combine in Indianapolis, the Noles prepared for Florida State's annual Pro Day. Celie Godwin took to the field and shows us how the Noles really impressed.
The drills, the weights, the tackles. It's not time for another football season, it's Pro Day. More than 30 athletes participated in one of the biggest pro days in Florida State's history. The goal? To play professional football.
Well, I'm very proud and happy for guys, and you get to see a lot of their dreams come true, and they get the opportunity to go play at the next level what they want to do.
The Seminoles are put through a series of tests. Hand and arm spans, heights, and weights were all recorded.
6022.
After a rundown of the Pro Day schedule, the men made their way down to the familiar stomping grounds of Bobby Bowden Field. The pressure put on in more ways than one.
They're all going to work out before the draft at some point, and that's the main thing. Then they got to remember and then do what they can do and show these folks mentally and attitude-wise what they would be as a teammate and as a guy in their organization.
This will be the last chance for the former Noles to display their talents before next month's NFL draft.
Teams from all over the country are seeking new talent. The former Seminoles are ready to impress.
Scouts all know we can play. They've seen tons of tape on us, so you are what you are on film. But I think the biggest thing that you can do, don't shy away from competition, don't shy away from being, being up against the other great talent in the draft.
Linebackers, tight ends, receivers, and running backs line up for the first event, the 40-yard dash. Athletes run 2 heats before moving on to cone drills, bench press, and tackling. A slight rain earlier in the morning made the ground slippery, but with shorter steps and turns, the players recorded strong times.
I try to show a little quickness, little technique, just position drill. We do this every day at practice, it's nothing really major.
Just see you come out here and kill all these drills, vert, bench, whatever it is, you're forward. They just want to see you be an athlete and perform out here for them.
13 players had already experienced the Combine in Indianapolis.
the most since 2001. Returning to Doak relieves some of the pressure, and with Coach Fisher's support, the guys felt even more at ease.
It was cool kind of seeing him take a back seat and kind of encourage guys. You know, he's always the guy. He always says, you know, I'm not coaching you, the player. I'm not coaching the player you are now. I'm coaching the player that you can be. So he's real tough on us, and it was kind of cool just to see him take a back seat and just be the encourager today.
The coaching staff at Florida State has prepared these athletes for the next step in their football careers.
It's been great. You know, when I went from Florida State into the Senior Bowl, it was a really easy transition. One, because the offense we do here with Coach Fisher is the same exact offense you'll be running in, you know, in the NFL, as far as the verbiage, the concept.
The guidance and knowledge of the coaching staff impressed many future football stars. 22 high school players will play for the Garnet and Gold next season.
If you come here, we can develop you. You get your opportunities. You see guys not getting in trouble. They're all graduating school, and then they're still getting a chance for the NFL. It does nothing but breed success, and that's what you want to have.
Quarterback E.J. Manuel is one of the more well-known faces around Florida State's campus. At the Combine, his 40 was the second fastest for his position. His vertical and agility impressed all who watched. But at FSU's Pro Day, it's all about passing.
I think, you know, obviously you just have to go out here and compete, still throw the ball. That's a part of a pro day for anybody, especially a quarterback.
It was a great day for him. He showed all the throws, all the things he had to do. You see a lot of hard work he's put in, and it's time for him to pay it off and I think have a great NFL career.
Defensive end and outside linebacker Brandon Jenkins was a promising prospect before injuring his foot last season.
Thought he had a guy to hand off to, and Brandon gets his first.
But he's not the only one battling back. Running back Chris Thompson and defensive end Cornelius Tank Carradine suffered from torn ACLs.
It only makes you stronger when you get hurt and you see your teammates grinding and you're not out there. So, I mean, you know, Tank and Chris, you know, they're pretty strong individuals, and I think they're going to overcome it.
Even with the injuries, they are working hard to improve their chances in the draft.
Rehabbing every day, training, strict diet. I can't wait to start workouts tomorrow.
Florida State's annual Pro Day was a huge success. And when next month's draft rolls around, don't be surprised to see some of our former Noles take the next step into the pros. I'm Celie Godwin for Seminole Sports Magazine.
When we return to Seminole Sports Magazine presented by AT&T, Scott Kotick goes one-on-one with Seminole great fullback Lonnie Pryor.
Welcome back to Seminole Sports Magazine presented by AT&T. Today, we're very lucky to be joined by our very own Lonnie Pryor, getting ready for the NFL Draft. But before we talk about Pro Day and the NFL Draft, the Orange Bowl was pretty fun for you. That whole experience, winning the MVP, having those big touchdown runs, what was it like to end your career out on that good of a note?
That was probably the best way to end it. A dream come true, a blessing. Just want to thank my team and the coaches for believing in me. But just to go out that last game and in that stadium and all my family being there was the best way to go out. It's probably one of my happiest moments at Florida State.
Your whole career, the goal was to win an ACC championship, get to a BCS Bowl. For you to accomplish that in your last season had to be pretty special.
It was pretty special. You know, when I first came here, that's why you come to Florida State, win ACC, hopefully go to national championship, win big games like this. And just my last season with the guys and all the seniors that we had here, the way we worked over the summer and just how we all dedicated ourselves to the season, and it all worked out and we got that big ring. So I'm still waiting for it to come in. So I'm ready to see it.
I know you were out in Arizona training for the past few months, getting ready for the Combine. Let's first talk about that. The Combine, what's that like? Just the best guys that are going into the draft. I mean, Florida State was so well represented, number one. You were one of those, one of 13 guys. What was it like seeing all those guys and knowing, hey, I'm around the best?
It felt good. Y'all don't see everything. Y'all see like the first day of it, just us out there having fun and running 40s, but y'all don't see everything before that. It's a stressful process, but it's also a fun process because a lot of guys you go in with the different students that you hear of, and plus going up there with 12 other guys from Florida State really made it easy. Me and Chris were running back, so we were all every day we were with each other, so it really made it easy and seeing everyone else. But it was a blessing. Not everyone get to go to that, and I'm happy that I got a chance to go there. And it was it's a stressful moment, but I'm glad it's over, but it really helped me out a lot.
And Pro Day obviously was great for you. A lot of good numbers. You did put up a lot, impress the scouts. What was that moment like coming back to Florida State, seeing all your old teammates, your coaches, everybody was here for that day?
It felt good. You know, I came back like 2 days earlier, so I got to walk around. You know, I went up and say hi to Jimbo, and like just seeing the weight room coaches, got to see my friends. I've been in Arizona for like almost, I guess, like 3 months, so I've been out there for so long, so I'm finally back. But it feels good, you know, you're around your teammates, and up at the combine, you know, it's just like, you know, it's like you got a lot of people there watching, but now like you're in your stadium and you're comfortable, you got your friends, so it's not as nerve-wracking. But I was happy to come back.
The draft is at the end of April. It's hard to believe it's just a few weeks away now, but
yeah.
From your time at Florida State, how well did it prepare you to go into the draft?
It prepared me well, especially the running back coaches out here, especially Eddie Green. Just one thing that really helped me out was my blocking and technique and things like that, and just staying in shape, running. And the 40, we really did much work on the 40, but the place I trained at really helped me out of that. But just my technique, my running, and football knowledge at Florida State really helped me out. So they prepared me well, and you know, I'm glad I came here.
And finally, what's the plan from here on out as you get ready for the draft? What does Lonnie Pryor's schedule look like the next few weeks?
Next, like I said, I'm gonna keep training here. And then the day before the draft, I'm gonna go home to a small town, Okeechobee. They're supposed to have like a big parade, shutting down Walmart. It's supposed to be crazy. No, I'm just kidding. But I'm just go back home. My family's having like just a little small get together for the draft. So just ready to go home and see the family. So that's what's next for me.
Well, Lonnie, best of luck. Hopefully Walmart does shut down in Okeechobee.
That's the only big story we got. So if it shuts down, everything's gonna go crazy.
Well, best of luck as you approach the NFL draft.
Thank you.
When we return to Seminole Sports Magazine presented by AT&T, we take a special look at the indoor tennis facility.
Seminole Sports Magazine is presented by AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. By Coke Zero, football-related chest bumps, high fives, and trash talk brought to you by Coke Zero. Enjoy everything.
Seminole Highlights is presented by AT&T, rethink possible.
Rain delays and postponed games are common with any outdoor sport, but indoor facilities are making weather issues a thing of the past. FSU held an open house to show off its indoor tennis courts and invited the public to play with the team. Marissa Elise was there and shows us how the indoor courts are doing more than just keeping the Seminoles out of the rain.
Four walls and a roof, a simple concept but an athletic advantage for FSU's tennis team. Just 4 miles from FSU's campus sits the only indoor college tennis courts in the Southeast. The team opened their courts inviting fans to come and play alongside the Noles at their open house.
Here we go.
FSU booster Larry Strom helped raise money for the facility. He says indoor courts are a necessity for a team's success.
Well, the old saying, practice makes perfect. If you lose in tennis, if you lose 5, 6, 7, 8 days of practice because of weather, that has to affect your play.
Before the courts are built, the team would frequently cancel practice, slowing down the team's progress and affecting their play. It's weather like this that has made indoor practice facilities popular among the nation's top institutions. With indoor courts, the conditions on any given day are ideal for play, something that women's FSU tennis coach is grateful for.
It's good for us because, the last 3 weeks we've had so much rain, we probably would have missed
a week and a half to practice if we didn't have this facility. So, our preference is to be outdoors though, and to be in the wind and to be in the elements, because we have to compete in that on a regular basis.
Outside, the sun, the rain, and the wind can change every shot. Indoors, the game speeds up and shots are more accurate, but practicing without these factors can impact matches. With every serve, every passing shot, and every spin, the environment plays a role.
Well, the ball travels faster indoors because there's no wind to stop it. That makes it more fun for us because your shots are more real. So the spins are better inside, and just the ball travels quicker. So the game is more exciting for us too.
Senior Andres Baccaro remembers practice before the indoor courts were built. He says having options has made the team grow, and while playing indoors is great, you can get too much of a good thing.
I think it's dangerous sometimes to play inside too much because you don't have elements, you don't have conditions, and you don't get very tough. You have to get tough in that cold weather. You got to get tough in the winds. You've got to make those adjustments.
The Noles attribute their recent success in matches not just to their practice, but their ability for perfect practice.
It's been raining a lot on our morning practices. If we didn't have those courts, for sure, it would be a time that we would put on running or something else, and that wouldn't put us in a position to win matches like we've been winning lately.
Aside from friendly play with fans, I asked freshman Zhao Gower what message he wanted to deliver to the younger tennis community.
I just want to let them know that the days don't go back, Like if I knew how tennis works, and if I had someone to tell me that you have to work hard every day if you want to be good, and how's the feeling to win, and how's the feeling to be there when you work hard, and tell them if you want to be good, there's no other way to do it without coming and working hard at the court.
Working hard is nothing new to this group of athletes. Their dedication has paid off this season with upset after upset for both the men's and women's teams. With the tools for success in place, the Noles have no excuse not to practice hard. They can be found on the court, rain or shine, all in hopes of bringing home a trophy. I'm Marissa Elise for Seminole Sports Magazine.
FSU's indoor courts are available to the public, so visit Seminoles.com for more information on how to make a reservation. I'm Rob Wilson, and we'll see you next week on Seminole Sports Magazine, presented by AT&T.